Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the meeting today for the Allegany County Board of Education, Tuesday, March 11th at 5:03 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, Mr. Llewellyn will read closed session summaries for special executive sessions held on March 4th.
The Allegany County Board of Education met in closed session on March 4th, 2025 at 10 a.m. at the central office. All 5 board members were present, and the vote to go into closed session was unanimous. The topic discussed was superintendent search.
Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion regarding the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Dr. Bond. Second by Ms. Lepley. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to the superintendent's report, we have a few proclamations to present this evening. First, we have Ms. Lori Lepley for recognizing March as Women's History Month.
Okay. Hello. So March 2025 is Women's History Month, and the Allegany County Board of Education will be presenting a proclamation to Dr. Sarah Welsh. And also International Women's Day is March 8th, 2025. And the Board of Education is honoring the accomplished and visionary women who have built our country and paid tribute to the trailblazers from the recent and distant past for envisioning a future and building a nation of endless possibilities for all women and girls.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Blank, President Bender, and members of the board. On behalf of all of the women in public education, I'm thankful to accept this recognition. We know that women have played a critical role in public education since its inception and continue to do so, so we appreciate this acknowledgement.
Thank you, Dr. Welsh. Dr. Bond will now present a proclamation recognizing March as Youth Art Month.
Mr. Avey, you want to walk over to the podium there too? I'm sure you're going to want to say some things on this. So March 2025 has been designated Youth Art Month by the National Art Education Association with the theme of healing through color. And the proclamation basically says what a great thing art is with our students, and you and your art teachers under you have done a fantastic job with not only the Christmas cards that were just produced a couple months ago, but also with the shows that you guys put on, and just showing how talented our students really are. It's pretty amazing. So with that, this month, Allegany County Board of Education does proclaim this Art Education Month, and we have a proclamation there for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Save the date. We've reserved some space in the Allegany Museum for a high school art show. It's only the second time we've tried this. A high school art show that will be April 9 through 13. The ink is still fresh on that. We're still working out some details. And then the elementary, middle, and high school art show at City Place in Frostburg is going to be April 23 through 28, and that'll overlap the Frostburg Arts Walk. And we're very excited about what's coming. We have some high school artists that are being, recognized by the state and are headed for scholarships at major universities. And it's been a great year to be an art supervisor and to bask in our successes.
If you haven't been to any of our art shows, put a half hour in your calendar and stop by. You'll be amazed of the talent that our students and our staff that have helped train them. It's pretty amazing. So take a few minutes to stop by on both the art shows if you have.
Whenever you see publicity for it, as the event nears, the publicity will be up on social media and the website. Whenever you see that, just pay attention to the gallery hours. It'll be open at least 2 hours every evening, and it'll be open all day that Saturday to overlap the Frostburg Arts Walk. There'll be an opening reception on Wednesday the 23rd. We're excited.
Thank you.
You can stay right there, Mr. Avey.
I'm told not to move.
We have one more for you, recognizing March as Music in Our Schools Month, Mr. Green.
Thank you very much. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Good evening. On behalf of the Allegany County Board of Education, it is my honor to recognize March as Music in Our Schools Month. Music education plays a vital role in our schools, helping students develop creativity, critical thinking, and self-expression. It enhances learning across subjects, fosters teamwork, and enriches our school communities. We celebrate the dedication of our music educators, students, and supporters who ensure that the arts remain a cornerstone of education. With that, we are proud to present this proclamation to Mr. Jeff Avey, Assistant Supervisor of Fine Arts, in recognition of the importance of music in our schools. Thank you for your commitment to arts education and music especially.
Thank you. Our all-county festivals came to a close last Thursday with all-county orchestra. It was the last one on our calendar. We had two in the fall. We had all-county chorus, and we had all-county jazz. And then we had all-county band, we had 5th and 6th grade honor band, and we had all-county orchestra just last week. We transitioned to adjudicated festivals, which are public events. They'll take place roughly from 9 to noon at Peeler Performing Arts Center at Frostburg. The chorus is this coming Thursday, the 13th. The band is Wednesday, the 26th, and the orchestra is Thursday, April 10th. We're excited about all of those. And of course, the individual schools are getting ready for spring musicals, and it's a great time to be in music.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the all-county chorus, all-county band, all-county orchestra. The quantity of students on the stage for all those events, it just continues to grow. Having gone to those over the years, the stage is filled, and we use Fort Hill because it's the largest auditorium in the county, and thank goodness we have one that size because the place is the stage is full and the auditorium seats are not. It's not maxed out, but there's enough room, but it would be if it was any smaller. But I want to congratulate staff for growing opportunities for our students, and the level of what you hear when you go to these events. I think we've got to be right up there with any other all-county in the state. I'll be anxious to see as we move forward with some of the events that are coming up. And I want to congratulate you when the show's there. It's very impressive, the guest conductors that you have coming in for our students, and the long day.
They all seem to want to come back. They love being here.
When I had the opportunity of talking to them afterwards, and they are so complimentary of our staff, our administration, and especially our students. So it speaks volumes for what's going on in this area for our county. So thank you.
We've been mapping the trajectory of enrollment trends, particularly for instrumental music. And, we had the crop of student that when they were young, 5th and 6th grade, that opted out of these elective courses during the pandemic because it wasn't that fulfilling for them. Those students are now in the 10th grade, and the middle school and elementary students that are feeding into that program are exponentially higher. So we're excited about how the high school programs are going to look in another 3 years. We suspect you won't recognize them. We're very pleased.
And also upcoming, if you've never seen a high school show, take that opportunity. You'll be amazed when you go see our students in action with their high school shows coming up here in the spring. It's a great relaxing evening. So if you haven't done that, I don't have to say anything to those who have been to it because they'll be back.
Well, and each school puts on a spring concert just a home-based school that usually involves, band, orchestra, chorus all together, maybe show choir in some instances, and they're simply wonderful. They're breathtaking, and just go to one near you. They won't be hard to find. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avey. You have great enthusiasm for what you do. We appreciate it.
Oh, you noticed
It shines through. Great job.
Festivals and other systems, and our kids are second to none. Really, I judged one today in another school system, and our kids can play and sing as well as anybody. So it's wonderful.
Okay, at this time, Mr. Blank is going to provide an update on the Early Childhood Center.
Yeah, I wanted to share with the public where we are with our Early Childhood Center that will be built at Washington Middle School. It's been a project we've been working on for the last couple of years for the funding and to get everything prepared for us, for Allegany County moving forward. So the update is the update to the Early Childhood Center at Washington Middle, due to a timeline of putting out a bid for the project, will be delaying it for the tentative opening to be August 2027. The bidding process, we have to collaborate with MSDE in order to be timely with everything, and that's been delayed a little bit. So we're pushing that date to 2027, and this summer we'll move forward with the parking lot project in front of the school and other small prep projects, so that when we do begin the construction, it's easier for staff, it's safer for everyone, and we won't be as disruptive when we start. The construction will start we'll begin next spring, as soon as, depending on weather, so I'll just say spring, as soon as they can. But that'll have us in by August of 2027 with the least disruption as possible, along with the company, whoever bids, they'll have the opportunity to have that time to prepare. So exciting, a delay, but I want to say that the funding is secure and the project will move forward. That has nothing to do with it. We are moving forward with it. So just wanted to share that with everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Blank. Moving on to instructional update, Dr. Callball is with us to discuss habits for success, and then also just staying up there to present the academic calendar, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So I'm going to begin first with giving you an update on the Habits for Success College Orientation Pilot. So you can advance that, or do you want me to advance it?
You control right.
I've got it? All right. So in the summer of '23, we began discussing an orientation class for our dual enrollment students who are taking the college English. And this came about because of we have a stakeholder committee with our dual enrollment teachers, the ACM faculty, and so we discussed how the students are doing in their dual enrollment classes, the challenges, and our college English teachers mentioned that the students, they had to do a lot of pre-prep work with them at the onset of the college English class to make sure they knew how to handle the rigor of college classes. And so that really began the conversation, do we need an orientation class? Because most colleges do require that. So we decided to do a pilot, and I would be remiss not to mention just the collaborative work from the ACM group. That would be Dr. Miha Wood, Robin Seddon, Laura Fiskus, and then our ACPS group, that would be myself, and at the time it was Katie Buskirk and the English dual enrollment teachers. And so we began this actual course here in the fall of '24. They were concurrently enrolled in college English with the Habits for Success. So Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, they take the college English class. Tuesdays and Thursdays, they would get online and take the orientation piece of the class. And so the objectives, really, that's part of the whole blueprint. Priority 3, Pillar 3, which is college and career readiness, to make sure our students are ready for the rigor of college. It was designed to equip them with the skills and strategies that they would need to be successful at that level. And we decided on a number of topics. They already taught this course at ACM, so it just flowed nicely with what we did with our input. And so it included note-taking, organizational skills, test prep, stress management, journal writing, an application of study techniques, and then navigating their learning management system, which is Brightspace, a little bit different than what they use in our system, but lots of similarities. So we had 198 students in the pilot. They were enrolled in the course, taught online by ACM faculty. 18 students withdrew from the course. One of the parameters we made for the pilot was we wanted to see if we would, what kind of, if the students would be interested, if there would be any that would want to drop the course. And we had 18 students out of that drop the course. But we had 180 students earn one elective college credit. And you can look at the grade distribution there. And we had an overwhelming number of students in the pilot earn the A, all the way down to the D level, where we had 8 students earn the D level. Part of the pilot was getting student reflections, letting them evaluate the pilot, letting them evaluate the course itself. And these areas that are listed on this slide indicate what they felt was most beneficial for them. Note-taking strategies, test-taking strategies, time management, stress management. We did use some of the work that has been ongoing with the mind-body techniques through ACM. And so the students really liked those, learning how to breathe before a test, just trying to get relaxed before you have to do a major paper or test. And then what I really liked is they really appreciated the network of support that they were receiving from both ACPS, the college English teachers being there on those days to help them, as well as the ACM staff. So it was a very collaborative effort, and the students recognized it and appreciated it. So for this coming year, our work group met together recently, and we talked about all the pros and cons of the pilot. We talked about things we want to revamp for the fall, things we wanted to change in the syllabus, but things that we wanted to make sure that we continued. And one of the things that we felt was imperative is that we require the course, that we move from it being just something they could do to something they have to do. Because for one thing, the district is paying for their tuition and their textbooks. And so we really want them to really take it seriously and not only pass the college English class, but be prepared for subsequent more rigorous classes that they can take while they're in college. So they'll take the class concurrently with their college English. So students can earn a total of 4 college credits. 3 of those credits will be for the college English. 1 elective credit will be for the Habits for Success orientation. And then, of course, they also, because it's dual enrollment, they also get their high school credit for the English as well. And then students will not be permitted to take the college English without taking the orientation course. And we think it's a win-win because they take it concurrently along with their course, and they have their college English teachers there to provide that additional support that they need during that work time that they have on that Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that is basically a summary of our Habits for Success pilot, unless you have any questions.
I always want to thank you for your vision from here, along with collaborating with ACM. Why would we not set our students up for success? So thanks for all the hard work there.
Yeah, great team effort again. I really appreciate the input of that stakeholder group and our college teachers who really came up with the idea initially.
Yeah, that's a great addition. Good news. Thank you.
All right.
I know this is probably too early to tell, but have you seen a correlation between success and habits for success and increased academic performance in the early college courses yet, or is it kind of too early to see that?
Little too early yet to see that, but we'll be doing a great analysis of that to see how well they did in their class as well as the college Habits for Success.
Thank you so much.
That's a great point.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, you can roll into the next thing.
I will roll then. All right. So the next thing we're presenting for you tonight for your approval is the 25-26 school calendar. And so the calendar process is a lengthy one, and it involves a lot of folks. So we begin with looking at our past calendar, getting feedback from what happened, transpired with it, and then we work with our content supervisors. They give input on it. We then take it to our school-based principals. They give input on it, and we also give it to ACA, let them look at that, and then our school-based staff. They all have a chance to look at it, provide input and recommendations on what they'd like to see in the school calendar, what they'd like to see changed and added. And so we take all of their input into consideration, and then we determine what will work best. We do kind of look at the end of the we look at the beginning of the calendar, and we look at the end of the calendar, because there are certain things that we want to make sure that's in place at the end of the calendar year. We want to make sure that our students get out first, then our teachers, because we need to make sure grades are put in and that we have all that before our teachers leave for the summer break. So with that said, our first day for teachers will be August the 20th. It is a midweek start. And our first day for students will be August 27th, the following week, midweek start as well. This gives time, particularly if the first day for students, gives time for if there's any scheduling glitches or if there's any transportation issues, it gives us a chance to remedy those if it's midweek, rather than on a Monday. And then our last day for students will be Friday, June 5th, excluding any, inclement weather days, and our last day for teachers will be Monday, June 8th. Looking at the holiday breaks, our Thanksgiving break begins on Wednesday with a 3-hour early dismissal and goes through the Monday of the next week. Christmas break is a lengthy one simply because of how the calendar rolls out this year. So it begins Tuesday, December 23rd with a 3-hour early dismissal and extends all the way through Friday, January 2nd. We normally return on the 2nd, but because it's a Friday, it did not make sense to do so. So they'll return on the Monday. And in our Easter break, we don't really call it a spring break because it's never quite that long, but it is Wednesday, April the 1st through the Monday, April 6th, and it is a requirement for us to be off Good Friday and the Easter Monday as well. And then moving to something that I wanted to make sure you were aware of, because this is not the ordinary, but there are some different things we need to put into our calendar this year, and one of them is the Power School training. You all are aware that we're moving away from Aspen. We're going to be doing the Power School, and so training will need to be involved. We put that at the beginning of the school year when the teachers return for that training. We're looking at about 6 hours of Power School training there. And then we are required to work with MSDE on 8 professional development topics from Learning Forward, and that is required to be provided to our faculty and staff by June of 2020. So that's why we have that in there as well. And then there are 4 Maryland leadership training topics that we currently have staff attending this year that we need to train the rest of our school-based staff on during the 25-26 year. So that's why you saw in the draft calendar that there was a few Fridays where there was a 3-hour early dismissal for staff development and teacher work time. And it was so that we could get these 12 topics covered during the school year. And then the last item is our ACPS and ACEA Career Ladder MOU. And this is to fulfill the requirements of Pillar 2 under the blueprint. And so we have extended the workday. This has been in agreement with ACPS and then, of course, ACEA on extending the workday for 30 minutes on 16 designated Wednesdays. It's identified as collaborative planning on the calendar. And there are 2 makeup days there identified in case they have inclement weather on any of those 16 Wednesdays. And then finally, just a couple things to keep in mind on the calendar. That first page of the calendar always provides the length of the school year, the inclement weather days information, and then information regarding what we are required to do as far as virtual learning. So all that's on that first page if people think, why are they doing that? It's there. And then the inclement weather days. We include 3 inclement weather days built into the calendar. And built in means they're already identified on the calendar, and we put them at the end of the school year. It's identified. It's actually numbered. Build-in day 1, build-in day 2, build-in day 3. And these days will be used if we need to. If we need to make up snow days. So our first 3 district-wide closures were completely closed. No school was in session. And if we exceed those 3 district-wide inclement weather closures, then virtual learning takes place using Schoology, as we have done the past several years. We will also use virtual learning through Schoology when there are regional closures. Sometimes it's just, for instance, the Mountain Ridge District is closed. We now have the capacity that on those closures to go ahead and have those students have their learning through Schoology. So all of the virtual learning schedules are located on the website, and a minimum of 4 hours of synchronous learning is required, and the afternoon is then set aside for asynchronous learning or for assignments. So with that said, unless there's any questions, I am asking you, I know you're going to look at approving it later on tonight, but any questions on the school calendar?
Yep. Mr. Green?
Just wanted to share that I received a great deal of feedback on the academic calendar, which I shared with Dr. Caldwell. I was very pleased to learn that much of it had already been gathered through those school-level surveys that you spoke about. Additionally, some of the feedback I received reflected confusion about the 3 built-in inclement weather days, so I do appreciate you taking the time to explain that. Even though, again, that is on our website, it's very clearly explained, but wanted to highlight that. And then more importantly, I recognize that creating this academic calendar is not easy. You have to navigate various requirements from the state. You have to balance a wide range of input from our community. And I believe you've done an excellent job in doing so. I appreciate the time that we had to talk about the calendar. I really want to thank everyone who was involved in that process. I will say next year, I would like to advocate for a survey soliciting feedback from parents just to ensure the board understands the community's perspective on the academic calendar. But with that said, I also want to reiterate there are various requirements that parents and community members may not be aware of. So maintaining a balance between all that stakeholder feedback and state requirements is really critical, and I think you've done a good job here. So thank you so much, Dr. Caldwell.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Any other questions or comments for Dr. Caldwell? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Okay, we will move into the public comment of our meeting. Just a reminder, we ask that comments are kept to a minimum of 5 minutes, and topics that are excluded are individual personal issues, comments identifying individual students or staff members, matters that may be on appeal, and topics for which the board schedules formal public hearings, and advertising or solicitation for products and services. And we have Ms. Kim Sloan signed up to speak this evening.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Sloan. I am a secondary social studies teacher and elected president of the 865 members of the Allegany County Education Association, which is more commonly referred to as ACEA. Since this is the first opportunity I have had to address the 2025 elected board, I will begin by extending our congratulations to both Mr. Max Green, the newest members, and Mrs. Linda Widmeyer. Welcome. As with any new beginning, it's always good to do a proper introduction. So, some background. ACEA had its origins in 1903 when area teachers formed the Allegany County Teachers Association, which makes us 122 years old this May. Fast forward to 2015, when ACT emerged with our colleagues of the Allegany County Educational Services Council to form ACEA. And we are now the exclusive representative of both Unit 1 certificated educators, which include folks like teachers, guidance counselors, behavioral and mental health specialists, and speech language pathologists, as well as Unit 4 non-certificate members, such as clerical and technical employees and instructional assistants. So you might be surprised, we have a great deal in common. Not only do your staff and our members work for Allegany County Public Schools, but we also seek great public schools for every student. While our advocacy and efforts may take different routes to achieve this objective, our destination is still the same. In a way, we are interconnected, much like the idea of the yin and the yang, to form a more perfect, balanced whole. A recent example of how our collaboration benefits our systems and students was the recent NEA Community Schools Lab held last month in Baltimore. 4 ACPS colleagues and myself attended a 2-day training presented by the Anaheim High School District regarding the establishment and growth of their community school program. Among the presenters were the district superintendent, an alternative school principal, classroom teachers, the union president, district coordinators, and county government coordinator. Yes, they have a county government coordinator just for community schools. That's how much it has grown and prospered. Together, they shared the challenges, lessons, and obvious success of their model. Not only was the presentation a total collaboration, but the program itself was made available through the collaboration of Maryland State Education Association and Maryland State Department of Education. I would also like to applaud your decision to conduct a transparent and thorough search for our next superintendent. In addition, I thank Dr. Kaba for reaching out to us regarding our input on the calendar and for everyone else who works closely with us. On this positive note, I'll continue to just let you know that we don't seek to be adversaries, but rather to work collaboratively to find the best path forward for our students, staff, and the system. Thank you for your time and service to the community in your capacity.
Thank you, Ms. Sloan. Are there any board member responses? Okay. Just under new business today, we have vote to approve the 25-26 academic calendar. Is there a motion regarding the calendar? Dr. Bond?
I move to approve the 25-26 academic calendar as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Bond. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Lepley. Any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the calendar?
Just one quick question. Wanted to make sure nobody here, I know we passed public comment, but was here to comment on the calendar, right? And to get a chance to sign up? Okay, cool. That's all I want.
All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Our student board member was not able to be with us this evening, so we'll move on to board member updates. We would like to point out and remind the community that there is a community survey posted on the ACPS website regarding the superintendent search. This is your opportunity to provide feedback on qualities you'd like to see in the next superintendent. The survey was posted last Thursday and will remain open through this Thursday, so one full week. You can see that on the homepage. There is a big square right in the middle that scrolls through with information on that and another link in the top right. Are there any other board member updates?
April 1st.
Yep. Ms. Lepley.
So this is just a reminder that the legislative session is still in progress, and MABE is tracking 97 bills. And as of February 25th, MSDE is tracking 322. So it's a lot of bills this round. And the public is encouraged to look at them and provide testimony. And you can do that in person, through Zoom, or just in writing.
Thank you, Ms. Lepley. One more reminder. We did announce last month that the April meeting had to be moved up. So it is Tuesday, April 1st. It is a week earlier than what it normally is. Any other board member updates? Okay, we need a motion to adjourn. Nobody wants to leave.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Widmeyer. All those in favor? Thank you all. Have a good evening.